So today I went out and I was thinking to myself, I said, oh fuck, I'm fucking hungry. I need to get something to eat. And well, you know, my pa always told me, he said, you know what, son? He's like, you got 27. Oh. There's a total of 27 of you and another one on the way. And he said, you got a lot of responsibility to handle. So I was like, shit. So what do you mean I got? There's 28 of us? Is that including or excluding me? He says, that's including you. So I was like, well, fuck. Well, what the fuck been going on with you, Daddy? He said, I was like, sorry about that, Paul. I meant Dad. I meant Paul, not Daddy. And he just stops and he says, smack yourself one time. So I did. Oh. He's like, don't you get me confused. I'm your Paul. Don't you forget that. And I said, I know. I'm sorry. It's been hectic. You got me over here living with everybody else. And he said, well, you got to do what you got to do sometimes. I said, I know. So I sat back and I started thinking, you know, I'm still a young buck. I ain't got no job. My daddy and my mommy that I stay with, they told my ass to go out in the streets like my pa and start sleeping out there. So I was like, fuck, well, what am I gonna do? And my pa always told me, he said, you know what? Don't you touch that fucking money shit. I was like, why? He's like, cause that's a bunch of cochineros. And I said, oh, what's a cochinero? He said, it's the bad man pajambies. And I was like, oh, I knew the translation of that one. I said, that's fucked up. That's some dirty shit. Well, not dirty, that's some filthy turd. And he's like, yeah, exactly, boy. He's like, don't you touch that shit. And I said, all right, well, what am I supposed to do then? And he's like, you know what? And I was like, what? And he's on the camera and shit. I guess he got a stolen little fucking phone while he was over there in prison. And he said, look at this. You see this fucking carton right here? How it says cake? Shit here, it's different. I said, yeah, you like that blueberry blast off hybrid shit. I was like, yeah, what about it? And he's like, this fucking box is worth more than a fucking $100 bill, boy. I was like, oh. So why would you say that? There ain't even nothing on it. He's like, son, this is a barter system. We don't go by that old fucking, that other shit, that blood money. Like, fuck that. So I was like, shit, well, what am I supposed to do to eat? Most people only take fucking money. I said, shit. He's like, damn it, you right. And he said, you know what? You a smart boy. Why don't you go figure it out? So I was like, all right. I felt all confident and shit. My brother Co2 over there, he more calmer. Me? I guess I'm more like my pa. I'm just, damn. So I'm trying to figure out how the fuck I'm gonna get this fucking money. I was like, shit, I look cleaner than a motherfucker, you know? So I started thinking maybe I should hit up some licks. So I go up and I start flirting with this fucking female, right? And I'm still a young buck. So I was like, fuck it. I started telling her, I was like, hey, you know what? Let me ask you a quick question. She's like, what? She's like, you know what I could do to a kiwi? And she's like, what? She's like, what are you talking about? I said, you know what I could do to a fucking kiwi? And she's like, what's that? I said, shit. fuck around, you gonna find out. And then she like looks at me and she like, fuck, this boy got some fucking skills. She like, you that motherfucking Joker's kid, ain't you? And I said, yeah. She like, shit, I heard about that. She's like, you know what, you hungry? And I said, yeah, I'm fucking starving. She's like, you know what? You wait your ass right here. I said, oh. I was like, all right. And she's about to go make herself a little meal for me. The fucking manager comes up and says, hey, what'd you tell that female over there? And I said, I just told her that I was hungry. And he like, yeah, well, you don't look like you poor. I mean, look at your clothes. You got a fucking speaker and shit. You got a fucking clean ass little hat. You got fucking braces and them motherfuckers is expensive. I was like, shit, thank you for noticing. But these are just stainless steel caps. And I got these from my pa right before he left. He's like, well, where's your pa at? And I said, well, that's none of your fucking business. And he just looks at me and says, you're too fucking young to be talking like that. And I said, you know what? I don't know why you don't haven't recognized I'm too young for you to have your fucking nose in my ass. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I already see the last turd nugget I dropped off the other day, and it's all scuffed all over your shit. He's like, what? How the fuck dare you? And right when she's bringing out my fucking meal, he slaps that out of her hands. Gah! She's like, oh, what the fuck was that for? He's like, you ain't gonna give shit to this disrespectful little bastard until he says sorry. I look at him, and then I look at her and I said, well, I'm sorry, ma'am, that he fucked it up, because you ain't about to get kiwi tonight.